Hello everyone. So continuing with the Indian Society video lecture series, and we are covering the topic the salient features of the Indian. We have already discussed about the diversity element in the Indian society, and today we'll be discussing a very important feature of the Indian society, that is the caste system. So the topic that is the salient features of the Indian society will cover these four features. We've already covered diversity, and today's topic is caste system. Now, what is caste system? So, caste system is a closed system of stratification whose membership is acquired by virtue of birth. Now, the question arises, what is stratification? Stratification is basically placing the social groups in a hierarchical manner, like one group will be ranked above other, that is the stratification. So it is a system of stratification. Now this some concepts which should be clear before we further proceed with the features of caste system. There are differences, then there is a term called inequality and stratification. What is the difference between them and what is the interlinkage between them? Now, differences, as we have covered in the previous video, we can call it as diversity also. Like we have diverse religions and languages and culture. So these are the differences. So differences are present in every society. Now, when these differences are, when these differences lead to differential access to resources, to wealth or prestige in the society, it is known as inequality. So differences or diversity as such are not detrimental to unity of a society, but when these differences are exploited and used for preferential access of certain privileges in the society, it leads to inequality. Now, when this inequality is becomes stratified, and when the social groups are graded according to these inequalities, it leads to formation of stratification. So stratification is basically a group features. When one group is having some features which are considered more superior to others, it is ranked above that group, that social group. So it is stratification. So these terms should be very clear to you, and um, because these terms may help you answer questions like around inequality, and there can also come a question comparing stratification and inequality also. Okay, now proceeding with the caste system, we'll discuss about the salient features of the caste system. Now, this system of stratification, that is the caste, it has some particular features about it. Now, first feature is it is hereditary in nature. It's very simple. Some main characteristic features of caste is that it is hereditary. You're born into a caste. It is ascribed and not achieved, or like once you're born in one particular caste, it sticks with you forever. And on the other hand, like for example, educational qualification, we acquire them, we study for them. But for caste, if you're born in a particular caste, so you remain in that forever. Now, obviously, this is debatable. Now, there's a open system and a closed system. We'll discuss in the later slides and how the caste system has become kind of open due to certain features of the modern society. Okay, now proceeding with the next characteristic feature, it, it is the segmental division of the society. Now, various castes, it divides the society into majorly four parts. That is the Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudra. So there is a segmentation of the society, and this is a very important feature of the caste system. Now, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in his essay called Annihilation of Caste, he gave a very good quote about the segmental division. He said that caste is not division of labor, but it is division of laborers. because many a times it is said that caste system is functional because it provides different functions to different sections of the society and leads to its unity and solidarity. But dismissing this fact, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has said that it is not merely a division of labor, but division of laborers. Laborers mean the persons are being divided by that. Okay. Now, the next characteristic feature of caste is hierarchy. Now, the various castes are arranged in a hierarchical manner. They are ranked, and they are ranked according to the concept of purity and pollution. For example, the occupation of Brahman is that of performing rituals and teaching. It is considered a pure uh, vocation. And whereas if we see in Dalits, they perform the occupation of cleaning and scavenging, it is related with pollution. So according to that, they have been ranked in a hierarchical manner. So it's an important feature of the caste system. Second, now there are certain restrictions on food, drink, and smoking, basically known as commensal rules. The rules about from which caste the Brahmins can accept food, with whom they can interdine, like this. So, likewise, these are certain restrictions or commensal rules. Then, the next important feature is the endogamy. And endogamy means that we have to marry within one's caste. So, this is a very important feature, and basically, endogamy is the reason why the caste system is still alive. Again, I'll be quoting Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and in his writings, while giving a solution to this caste problem, he has given numerous solutions like how the caste can be disintegrated. The one solution he says that till the time there are endogamous marriages, the caste system will thrive. The moment intercaste marriages starts happening, the caste as a social institutions will start dismantling. In the modern society now, we are seeing that there are intercaste marriages taking place. So, like this, endogamy is an important feature of the caste system, due to which it has thrived over the years or the centuries. Okay. The next feature is purity and pollution. We've already discussed like what is the concept of purity and pollution. Now, the last feature is the occupational association. Every caste has a specific occupation, and each and every person who is born into that caste is associated with a specific occupation. Brahmins will be priests and associated with teaching. The Kshatriyas are the associated with the political class. Then the Banyas are engaged in the business. Okay. Then last feature of the caste system would be the certain social and religious disabilities and also certain privileges which are attached with the caste. Like for example, if we see the disabilities, the lower caste were before our constitution came into being, they were debarred from entering the temples or using water from the well. These were certain kinds of disabilities being attached with certain castes. Now we have discussed the basic features of the caste system. Let's revise before we go on to the next slide. That is the changes in the caste system. First feature was hereditary. Then there is segmental division of society. Then there is hierarchical structure. There are certain commensal rules attached with the caste system. Endogamy within the caste, various caste groups. The feature of purity and pollution. And lastly, a hereditary occupation. Now, over the years, due to certain factors like Sanskritization, Westernization, modernization, industrialization, urbanization, and democratic decentralization, there has been certain changes in the caste system. The characteristic features which we have discussed previously, there has been a certain changes in those features. Now, first we'll discuss about these agents or the forces of change which are bringing about the change in the structure of the caste system. First is syncretization. It is a sociological term. Now, it's not very necessary that you learn this term by heart, but still, for your information, it's a very important term, syncretization. It's a process by which any low caste adapts to the lifestyle rituals of the upper caste. This is a kind of uh, a positional change in one's caste, not necessarily a structural change, but there is a positional change in the position of the caste. It means that a particular lower caste changes its position into high caste in a particular area. It's a localized concept. But whereas the larger caste structure does not change. Okay, so this is the concept of Sanskritization. Now, this has led to a certain amount of social mobility in the caste system, which was previously very rigid and closed. This Sanskritization has provided the certain flexibility to the caste system and hence certain changes in it. Okay, so it's one of the factor of change in the caste system. Second is westernization. Now, what is westernization? Now, owing to around 100 years of British rule, there has been a change. There was a change in the style of living, language, dress pattern, etc., due to adapting of the Western style or the value. So, we have seen that due to Western education, a middle class intelligentsia class was formed in India, and they had a rational outlook. There was change in the modern communication processes, mass media, then English medium education came into being. And due to the English educated people, there was certain amount of social mobility. So this led to a change in the caste system. So it's another force of change in the caste system. The next is modernization. Now, the question arises: what is difference between westernization or the modernization? The modernization is quite a broad concept. It isn't limited to the influence of the Western values only, and it is overall institutional, structural, social, economical change in the society, which relies mainly on the scientific outlook and rational attitudes. So any culture can modernize itself without adapting to the Western values. Like in the case of Indian society, we can modernize ourselves not by abandoning the tradition totally, but by integrating the rational aspect of the tradition and suitable aspects of the modernity. So this is modernization. It's a broader concept than westernization because westernization is only limited to the Western values. Now, next, it's not basically, we cannot say it's a factor of change, but it can be seen as a result of change in the structure of the caste system. The term is dominant caste. Now, dominant caste is some caste which becomes politically and economically dominant in a local area. For example, we have seen Yadavs in UP or Reddys in Andhra Pradesh, Patels in Maharashtra, Patels in Gujarat. There are castes which are dominant in a particular local region because ritually, if we see, they come under the Shudra caste, the agricultural caste. But due to the numerical strength and somewhat higher ritual status, and they're not related to some unclean occupation. By unclean occupation, I mean manual scavenging, like Dalits, and also due to acquiring of the English education. And after independence, there were land reforms and there was democratic decentralization. So these castes formed a dominant status in local areas. So this is the concept of dominant caste. Now, due to this, you can see a change is coming in the caste system. Uh, Previously, there was a very rigid structure. The Brahmins always used to be at the top, then the Kshatriyas, then the Shudras, then the Vaishyas, and then at last they used to be Shudras. Now, but due to certain factors which I have discussed, and acquiring of the political economic power, numerical strength, a certain caste, the agricultural caste like the Yadavs or the Reddys, they become dominant or they are placed at the topmost level in a hierarchy of like say a village area. So these are the certain changes. Now, next factor of or the force of change in which is bringing about change in the caste system is industrialization and urbanization. Now, with the growth of industrial towns and cities, there has been a migration to these areas. And now, when we see in the urban area, there is not much strict following of the caste rules, and it is not even possible because, for example, there is a shoe industry or any kind of industry. All the workers they work in a single area, so it's not quite possible that all the caste rules are being followed. So because of this, the rigidity of the caste system went away because of the industrialization and urbanization. And lastly, democratic decentralization. Now, through the introduction of Panchayati Raj, local self governments in the village area, and also due to the reservation, the lower castes are also participating in the political structure. Now, we see previously the characteristic feature of the caste system. There were certain castes, for example, the Kshatriyas, they mainly occupied the political power. But with democratic decentralization, the lower castes are also occupying these political posts. It's basically empowering them. So it's a force of change. Now, we've discussed the factors like sensitization, westernization, modernization, the concept of dominant caste, industrialization, and democratic decentralization. There has been changes in this caste system. Now, in the following slides, we'll not only discuss these changes in the caste system, but there is also a very peculiar element in the Indian society that although there are changes in the traditional social institutions like caste, but there is also an element of continuity in them, or there is a kind of adaptation in these social in the caste system itself. Okay, proceeding with the video. First, we'll discuss about the caste and the ritual sphere. Now, the corresponding to the caste hierarchies, there were previously used to be hierarchies in food, tradition, caste occupation, style of life. So this was the characteristic feature if we see the caste system in the ancient times or the previously if we see. Now, what has been the change due to the forces which we have discussed before? Now, the caste rituals have increasingly become a personal affair rather being a public affair. Like we'll be following caste rituals maybe at home, but not in the public because it's not possible in a modern society because of circumstances of living or the forces of industrialization. Now, the place of residence and food habits are influenced more by individual's workplace and occupation than by his or her caste or religion. Now, for example, if you go to a restaurant in a city and your food is being served, nobody asks that what is the caste of the cook. Okay, if he or she is a Dalit, the person will not eat that food. So these changes have been occurring due to the urbanization and industrialization. So this concept of caste being intermingled with the rituals and the daily life, it has eroded to certain level. But there is also certain continuity in the ritual affairs, and there is a linkage between caste, marriage, and kinship. Now, for example, if you have attended any Hindu wedding, and if you have attended the fairas in the wedding, you'll realize that during the procedure, during that ritual, There's often the Brahmin who's performing the ritual. He asks about the caste and the gotra. So still in the marriage, if we see the caste factor in the rituals of the marriage, it's still prevalent. So you've seen how the caste was previously there in the ritual sphere in form of food, occupation, styles of life, and there was change in which it became a personal affair, but also there is a continuity in the form of the its linkage with the marriage and kinship. Okay, then next is caste and economic sphere. Now this is another important term I would like to introduce. It is the jajmani system. Now, Jajmani system was basically a kind of barter system in which there used to be a Jajman from a higher caste and Kamin, which used to be a person from a service caste, for example, a goldsmith, a barber, or a blacksmith, or a potter, which who used to provide certain services to the judgman or the higher caste. And in return, there used to be rewards in kind, like some food grains is being given or some clothing is given to the common or the service caste. Now, with the advent of the Britishers and coming of the modern economy and monetization of the economy, this system of ja- Jajmani system or the kind of a barter system, it was disintegrated totally. It eroded, and so there is a change in the caste system. So, but there is also a factor of continuity we see. For example, because of the in the initial period, the Western education was first available to the higher caste. It was only the Brahmins or Rajputs who initially benefited from these changes. The Brahmin section responded first to the English education, therefore benefited from the political and administrative power. So kind of they had a head start. And so same way, if you see in the commercial sector also, if we see today's example, the great business houses, they belong to the traditional commercial caste. So there's still a kind of concentration of certain castes in the certain occupation. If you'll find mainly banyas doing the business, and if you see the teachers or the higher posts, they mainly belong to the higher caste because they were given a they had a kind of head start. So it's a element of continuity in the economic sphere. Now, lastly, is the caste in politics. Now, traditionally, we see the oneness system was associated with a certain kind of a relation to power and prestige. There was Brahmanical supremacy, and then Kshatriyas were related with the uh, politics of the society at that time. Now, due to the modern democratic institution, if we see, and due to the reservations also, we see that the lower castes are also becoming more and more, they're becoming more involved in the modern institutions or the politics. So, likewise, the power has now become distributed between different castes. It's no longer concentrated in the hands of Brahmins or Kshatriyas. So there is this is the element of change. Now we see the element of continuity which can be found in the caste-based caste-based parties, like for example BSP or the Samajwadi Party, which is mostly related to the Yadav clan. Then there is also caste associations which are present, uh, which is a kind of continuity which is seen in the political sphere. Okay, so this was all about the caste system. We discussed about the definition of the caste system and what is stratification system. Then we discussed what are the characteristic features of the caste system and how there are certain forces, for example, the westernization, modernization, they are bringing kind of changes in the caste system, the certain cleavages which are appearing in the caste system, and due to this, we see a dichotomy of change as well as continuity in certain features of the caste system. So, this is all. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll be coming with more videos, and we'll be covering all the topics which are related to the Indian society. In case you haven't seen the introductory lecture, please see it before you proceed with the other videos. Thank you. Thank you very much.